But I see too. And then
You,
on top of that, attention right now, like back to the initial topic, attention is a drug, right? He was a famous basketball player. He no longer is. His name is in the mouth of everybody, and it ain't been since probably 99, 2000. Like he is at that point
Oh,
right now. You say what?
I don't
You don't know
know.
him?
No,
Yeah,
him.
I
You
remember
talking
Joseph. He
about
used to be
pause.
decent. No,
Pause.
he used to be decent. He used to be decent. But on top of that,
Decent.
like so right now, would any of y'all go in a grocery store and throw your body across a whole convenience store rack of stuff and film it to put it online? I'm pretty sure no, right? Would any of y'all pretend to overdose on drugs just so people can know who you are, like bunk gang and all of that stuff? I'm pretty sure not, right? It's like Klaus say, it's a whole different generation, and the stuff these people willing to do right now to get famous, we look at in disgust, and they look at and get paid and laugh at us for looking at them in disgust. It's generationally different. And when you like I was talking about this earlier when I said I struggle with understanding this new generation. This one of the things, like I'm looking at it from a perspective of if I was in this generation, how would I view it? I'm taking myself out of how I view things and looking at it from people within this era that don't really care how they appear. They don't, like you say, self-respect been out the window. Attention by any means. You got people like Lil mom letting their daughter curse out adult, like all type of stuff that you just know would have been off limits for our generation is now the new norm. And then it has to be sensationalized. So you've got to do something that pushes the cultural norms and boundaries a little bit further than somebody did before you, even to be looked at. Because just average good content or good self-respect and stuff, it ain't cutting it right now. For whatever reason, it's just not cutting it. You have to push that stuff. And unfortunately, until we find a better solution or metric, people gonna continue to keep doing this. And the weaker people that are older than us that need money will probably fall victim to a lot of stuff that we would be like, hell no, I'm not doing that. They like, well, shit, I got $25,000 a month in bills, just bills, and I haven't made money in 17 years. We need to figure something out. Me, I would say downsize and then y'all go live in a studio or something if that's. But him, hey baby, get to work, get on that pole, sell it. That's how they move.
it's not
It's crazy.
respectable. And I would whose kids that are coming up in this generation on the panel, whose kids are going to do something like that? Raise your hand. Because being that it's a generational thing, whose kids on this panel is going to do that? That's what I want to know. Anybody who's saying that this is cool, which one of your children are going to do that? And you're going to say it's okay. Which one
No,
of your
no, no.
children? And
I'm not
that's
saying it's
okay.
okay.
So it's
Yeah.
not generational. It's not generational. These
It
are
ain't
lost
about whether or
people.
not you
And
say it's okay or not. How
That
many
that's the
people
but they're
said
not
point.
that
going to
they
do it. You know what?
hold on.
I'd bet my life that my
How
children ain't
many
doing that. That's what
but
I'm
how
saying.
many hold on.
They ain't.
I respect what you're saying, Trev, right? But hear what I'm saying. How many women right now are on the track on Figueroa in LA right now whose parents right
A
now
lot.
would say that that wasn't going to be my daughter? There's a lot of people who said that wasn't going to be my daughter, and guess what? OnlyFans is making billions off of that wasn't going to be my daughter.
Yeah.
So
You
Was it
could
so
more?
say what you want, but are you leading with the are you leading by example, right? Are you giving them the tools that they need to be successful? That's the difference. You could say what you want. You could say your children never will, but what are you
Trev,
doing to back that up?
Wait,
Trev, in
Shane,
this
is Furious
generation,
Styles?
you even trying to talk to your daughter, right? About you even trying to have
Mm-hmm.
a conversation with your daughter about what she does with her body in this generation can get you canceled. We're not in the same
No,
generation.
no.
Like meaning you have a conversation with your girl about boys, and let's say somebody record it and they don't like the wording you use, they don't like the way you phrase something a certain way. You now a problem, bro. Now you're different. Now you're trying to control the sexuality of a young woman. There's language that they've used to make it so that you as a father can have difficulty. Now I'm not saying you're gonna have difficulty. I'm not questioning your parenting skills in any way at all. I'm just saying that we're living in a time right now where even your parenting skills is limited because social media and society has a stronger reach. I'm hanging with a friend the other day, and she's a great parent, but all of them kids were still in the phone. They were still looking at that, and I'm watching the daughter. She's reciting something word for word that she's seeing. Now, I'm not saying what she was reading or reciting was bad per se, but in them 10 minutes that she's driving the car, something else could have came on that screen.
Mm-hmm.
Some ass shaking and some twerking, and that could have imprinted on her mind in a whole different way. And now when she hang with her friends in the bathroom at school, she ass shaking and twerking. And before you know it, by the time your little girl is 16 years old, she done did more shit than you ever could think of. So I get what you're saying. It is incumbent upon us to make sure that that's not happening with our kids, but it's not just about whether we allowing it or not no more, because society is crazy.
I got two examples for you,
Nah,
Trev.
nah, nah. And,
North,
and, and
North
I don't think we should
Pittsburgh.
accept that. I don't think we should accept that because you know what? Other cultures are not accepting that shit. That's garbage. Other cultures are not accepting that. You go to the continent of Asia, you tell me how many of them mother
They
lovers
have
is
the law on
accepting
their
that
side.
shit. They're not. They're not. Okay.
They have the
No,
law
they
on
have
their side.
family on their side. They have
They
communities
also
on
have the
their
law.
side. They are putting it down. They are
But these,
parenting. They are
but
involved. They are doing what they're supposed to. They have influence. They are not allowing society or social media to have a stranglehold on their children. That's what's not happening. And that's what we are allowing. You have to put your foot down. You have to stop that. That's a no-go. It won't happen in my household and it shouldn't happen in yours. And you should be confident about it. And anybody that is around me is not happening. None of my friends, family, they don't act like that. They are doing well. They have accolades. They doing a thing. The people that I surround myself with, their children are doing well. Their children are having honor roll. Their children are involved in extracurricular activities. They have no need for that. They see that. Again, I don't shelter my children because that's one of the worst things you can do too. They need to see it, and I provide context, and I tell them this is what you never do. This is what's not cool, and I show them why, and I give them real context, right? And I make sure that they have morals, right? You have to explain these things to them. You have to take your time. You have to spend a lot of time with them. You have to really, really, really dig in. You can't just let children raise themselves. And I witnessed
listen,
that. I witnessed a lot of people
listen.
doing that, right?
I don't
Trev,
Go
neither
ahead.
disagree
one
with
of
the
us is
sentiment of
saying
what
that
you're saying,
that
right? I don't
should
disagree with
happen.
the sentiment of what you're saying at all. But you got to keep in mind that as good of a parent as you might be, your kids spend more time at school than they spend with you. And that's what it's going to be from the time they're 4 or 5 years old. They spend more time away from you than they spend with you. And while they're at school, there's ideas being put in their mind. There's books being read to them. There's books that they're being told to do reports about. There's stories they're being told to be read, and there's perspectives being given to them that are affecting how they come out in life. The only way you can have that much control is if you are 100% like homeschooling, controlling every aspect of their life. But if your kids are in the world, like I hate to break it to you, it's going to be very hard to have that level of control. I mean, today we live in a world where you know how easy it is to lose your kids just if they call CPS one time and just say, "Yo, if let's say you tell your daughter, I don't want you wearing that shit out the house." She can literally call CPS and say, "My daddy hit me." And guess what? CPS will be at that house investigating and doing all type of stuff, all because she said my daddy hit me. And every time you tell her not to wear that, she could say my daddy hit me. And it's gonna become a point where you're like, okay, well, do I let her wear what she want to wear,
Wait,
or do I
wait,
get her
Clout.
taken away by force? I'm
Um,
just saying you. I'm just
Clout.
trying to
Clout.
talk about the nuances in the world we live in
Go,
today.
sir.
Just keep everything in context of where we live today.
But
That's all
Clout,
I'm trying to say.
Clout.